Hello everybody, today we're going to be checking out these lights here. They're called SYRO the Box. What's cool about these lights is that you have the option to put covers on them, and the covers are basically letters and you could basically spell out stuff. So it kind of adds another element to these lights here. They're not just lights, they could also spell stuff out, and they could also be they could create 3D shapes. So instead of just putting them up on a wall, you could actually create shapes out of them as well. So lots of things to check out with this. Let's get right into it. All right, so let's go ahead and open up the box here. This slip cover comes right off, and then we just open it up, and we have the black version, as you can see here. All right, so let's go ahead and take out one of these lights here and see what they look like. As you can see, they're kind of small, which is perfectly fine. They're probably about 2 inches by 2 inches, and then this is the back of them here. Here's some of the lettering, and then it looks like you get some adhesive stuff, so you can stick it to a wall. You get a remote along with like a power cord and like a kind of like a controller as well. Let's find out what this is. And this is probably going to be to connect all of them together. All right, well, let's get into it. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and just go over a basic configuration here to kind of show how to get things started. The way this works is that you have this kind of control module here. You can see it has different buttons. So this is power, music mode, and then the different lighting effects. And it also has these outlets here to provide power. This would go to either a USB port, or you could connect it to a wall outlet. This is going to be what powers this entire unit. And as I said before, this is going to be we have to connect another USB-C cable. And then from there, you connect this to one of the lights, which would be the main hub. As you can see here, this one has an arrow. That arrow indicates that that's the port to plug into, plug the power source into. And then every other port that you see on here, as well as all these other ones, those would be how you connect them, or those would be the ports that you use to connect them. So it comes with a lot of these little connectors here, and that's what you are going to use to connect these two together. Something I want to show here is that you want to make sure that every connection that goes into to power the next cube comes in through the arrow. So what I mean by that is, so remember that the arrow on this cube is right here, and so that means that you have to plug it in onto that port. Well, when you plug in this one to this cube, you have to plug it into the one that has the arrow, like so. And then similarly, any other cubes, you have to make sure that the arrow or the plug goes into the port that has the arrow. And then, for example, if we have to add another one, let's say it's going to come down here, we'd have to make sure that the arrow is like that, and so on and so forth. So just be sure that you have the connections correctly, otherwise the lights will not light up. Once you have a shape that you like, you could kind of reinforce that shape by using these little attachments here that go on the back. And you just press them in like so. And there you go. All right, so once you got the LED Smart app downloaded, go ahead and open it up and click on that LinkedSparx symbol in the upper left. Once you do that, this will show up, and it's just asking you how long the longest chain is. For me, it's 3, so that's what I picked. And then immediately you can start changing the color, as you can see here, as well as the brightness. On the bottom there, those plus signs, you could go ahead and add a custom color. You can choose from here, and it does show up on the lights as you're changing it, so that's a good thing. And it gets saved there at the bottom as well. Moving on to the next tab is the effects, and there are a lot of effects you could choose from here. You can see them all. They take up the upper half of the screen here. You can also play and pause them, change the brightness, change how quickly the effect runs through its effect. And then the next tab is going to be the customize tab, so you could basically choose an effect, choose the color, choose the speed that it plays at, choose the brightness, so on and so forth. And then after the customize tab, you're going to have the music tab, and this is going to be effects specifically for music because the lights are able to react to music that you have playing. And you can also adjust the quiet or the how loud the music is. That way the lights know how sensitive they should be. All right, so now let's go ahead and go through some of the actual effects that the lights have. So I'm going to be controlling it with the remote. Press the power button, it turns right on. These buttons right here change the effect. This one loops through all the effects. These are going to switch to the music modes. This one's going to, I believe, make the effects faster or slower. Yep. And then make it fast again. There you go. And then color, you could change the color here. And then quiet loud is also related to the music. These are timers here. Another button for color, and then this is the brightness. So I'm going to go ahead and connect a few more lights, and then we could check out how that looks. All right, so here it is with a few more lights, as you can see here. All right, so let's go ahead and test out the music option now. Now let's go ahead and add some of the covers in and see how that looks like. All right, so here's some of the covers that it comes with. I'm gonna just try real quick some basic one. All right, so there you go. There's an example of what it looks like with the covers on. I'm gonna actually turn off this light here to give you a really good idea of what it looks like. I think it looks really cool, especially with the different effects it has, different colors. And then keep in mind, I mean, you have, it looks like 2 sets of these letters and numbers, so you should be able to spell out a good amount of stuff. You do get a good amount of cubes. It looks like I have a few more left even after all these that I've used up. So, and then also you could make more shapes as well. So really you're limited only to your creativity in terms of like what you can make with this. They even look to have some like additional covers that you could use, and they seem to be more like kind of like just symbols in terms of, like, for example, one is like a heart here. You can see that one. They even have an arrow. They've got something like a triangle, which is going to be similar to the like the gaming symbols. And they even have, for those social media users out there, those influencers, they got an @ symbol as well as a hashtag if you want to use either one of those. So really, as I said, you know, sky's the limit here. You could come up with anything you want, and the lights really will serve as a good maybe background piece if you're making videos. You could put them like in the living room as a centerpiece, or just as something on the shelf to add a little bit of lighting and, you know, just nice ambience to a room. But overall, these lights are pretty nice, and I recommend getting them. Thank you.